Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Discipline Habits Podcast. I'm Jess Gordon, your host. Happy Friday. I hope you all are doing well. Would it really be an episode if I didn't have a beverage in my hand? I'm sorry. I'm just a drink girly. I just love beverages. Reminds me of this past week. One of my good friends, Gracie, she suggested that I try an adrenal cocktail. It's actually an adrenal mocktail, excuse me. So I decided to try one out that she gave me, and it is orange juice, coconut water, Himalayan salt. Yeah, I know. And then cranberry juice, fresh pressed. Except I bought the wrong type of cranberry juice because I don't pay attention, and it was a blend. So it's like grape juice and cranberry juice and something else. I don't really know. But anyways, today we're just drinking lukewarm, no ice water. So that's the beverage of choice for this episode. But I think I'm going to start getting into these adrenal mocktails because apparently they're supposed to help with your energy levels. There's a lot on Pinterest, and I'm really interested to try some of them. Like, there was a pumpkin one that I was like, oh, that sounds really good. Like an apple cider vinegar one. And I was like, okay, that also sounds really good because apparently apple cider vinegar is supposed to be really good for you. But I don't really know. I just know that this is what online says. I need to do further research because Google is not always accurate. 5 months ago today, to the day, I graduated college, and now I'm recording this a couple days earlier, so it's obviously not the actual day, but whenever you guys are watching this, it will be 5 months ago today to the day that I graduated from college. So exciting, so bittersweet. Man, I miss PSU so much, especially since my sister is still there. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just wish I could be there because I love Penn State football, and I just am always living through my sister, and especially because she has like a really cool job and she's always on the field, and I'm just like, wow, I wish that were me, but I had my time, so it's okay. And I'm loving my life right now, so I have no complaints. I'm very blessed. Asked ChatGPT to ask me questions about the post-grad life working 8 to 5. And these are the questions. How did you find balance between work, personal life, and other commitments after starting your 9 to 5 job? Great question. I think that one key thing that has helped me immensely is Sunday night, I write down specifically what's going to happen throughout the week. So every single Monday, I have my sermon recap group. So every Monday night, I know that I have 7 p.m. sermon recap group. That's something that happens every single time. And so I'm very specific about my schedule whenever I'm writing it out on Sunday night, which if you don't already do that already, I would, because being specific is good. When you're not specific about something, then there tends to be like the little bit of compromise starts to slip in there, and then you're not really doing actually the things that you need to be getting done. And then that's how you can get really unorganized and fall behind in your work or personal life, or just like involved in doing extracurriculars. So I would definitely recommend specifically writing out what you're doing every single day. Like, I literally write to a T what time I'm waking up. Wake up 4:15 a.m. Then I'm like, okay, I'm hitting legs. Da 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 da. And I try to stick very strictly to that because that's honestly what helps me stay moving like throughout the week as I'm going through my week doing work, and then also all the other things that I'm involved with outside of work. The next thing I would be is leaving in that schedule open and free time, because you never know if your friends are going to invite you to go out to dinner, or if you're going to go and do something fun. Like, I know my friends and we like to play pickleball. So I tend to leave at least some free time in my schedule. I mostly leave it on the weekends, but I do try to have at least one night a week where I'm not doing anything. I'm just open for doing whatever. So that's kind of helped me with my work and personal life. I think that's definitely something that I would recommend. The next question that ChatGPT said was, how has your daily routine changed since starting an 8 to 5 job? So I would say, honestly, my routine has stayed very similar to my college life routine, but it also has changed a lot for obvious reasons. So I would say the thing that has stayed the same is my workout routine. I think that workout routines is something that, like, if you're consistent with your workout routine and you're in college right now and you're about to be outside of college, I feel like just keeping it the same. I didn't really want to sacrifice changing my workout routine once I started into work because I was like, that's just going to be too much of an adjustment with all of the other things that I'm doing. So if you are someone who wakes up and goes to the gym before you go to class, keep that. That's what I did. I would wake up, go to the gym, and then go to class and do all the things that I had to do. And I feel like because I was so used to just first thing in the morning working out, that has helped me in my work life as well. Because I'm like, okay, first thing is working out, and then I can go about my day with the things that need to get done that are maybe a little bit more important, like work. So that's something that hasn't changed, but I feel like if I were to give anybody advice, I would say don't change your routine. If you're somebody who works out every day and you work out at night after class, keep it the same. Like, why bother being like, oh, all of a sudden I'm going to try to do work out in the morning, because you're just going to burn yourself out, because that's just too much of a dramatic change, you know? Um, so one thing that has definitely changed in my life now, guys, is my nap routine. I am going to be so real with y'all. I was a huge napper in college. I would get up early, go to the gym, go to class, do all my work. I would take a midday nap before going to my restaurant job in the evening or doing my evening activities. So now that is definitely not a part of my routine, which I feel like that's something that I'm really struggling with adjusting to, is not being able to take an afternoon 20-minute power nap to like get me going for the rest of the day. So I guess I'm not really figuring that one out yet. And maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. Do you guys take naps in college? If you're not in college, do you take naps? Like how do you do that? Because somebody let me know, because I'm not sure how to do that. Which maybe that was just a really bad habit on my behalf, but I don't know. I had always done that in college pretty much. I was a huge napper in the afternoon. And so that's why I'm trying these adrenal mocktails, so that way hopefully I can get like a natural burst of energy by drinking these. We'll see. I'm going to play around with them. I'll let you guys know how it is. Maybe I should do a podcast episode on that. I don't really know what I would talk about, but whatever. Another thing about my routine that has changed is in the evenings in college, a lot of times things would just randomly pop up and it would be like a sporadic in the moment kind of, oh, you have this club meeting. Oh, let's go to this event. Whereas now it's much more structured. And so that kind of goes back to like the whole structuring out your week on Sunday night is like, I know every single Monday night I'm doing sermon recap from 7 to 9. And I know that every single Tuesday night is when I have run club, like so on and so forth. And throughout the rest of the week, I like know I have something. Then that's something that's much more structured now compared to whenever I was in college. What key habits or routines have helped you grow both personally and professionally in an 8 to 5 environment? I think for professionally, I will speak on this professionally first, is being a sponge. I remember my dad telling me this before I started my job, and I've heard it about being tossed around a lot in just various events that I've been to, is be a sponge. Another key habit for growing personally is say yes a lot to things. I know that whenever you say yes to things, let's say you say yes to 10 things. Yes, I'll go to dinner. Yes, I'll do pickleball. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll play golf. Then you kind of narrow it down as you do those things to which things actually are things that you're interested in. I actually asked ChatGPT to ask me some faith-based questions based on this topic. So it came up with two really good questions. So the first question is, how do you maintain and grow your faith while balancing the demands of an 8 to 5 job? I really like this. This kind of just goes back to daily disciplined habits in general. First thing in the morning, Bible time. Bible time in the morning sets the tone for your day. And I think that that has helped me immensely because whenever whether or not you may realize it, when you're reading scripture in the morning, it actually is affecting how you act during the day. Like if there's scripture that I read in the morning, I'm oftentimes reminded of it throughout my workday. Another thing, guys, that I would recommend is definitely prayer time on the way to work. You can literally talk to God like he's your best friend. And I think that whenever you're on your way to work, starting off your drive with just, Lord, I just thank you for this day. Thank you so much for the job that you provided me and the car to get me to where I need to go. Thank you so much for this job. I'm so blessed to have. I know you put me in this role for a reason. I would just pray that you would give me strength to get through whatever challenges throughout this day, work day, Lord. Something along those lines is really good. That's been a really great way to maintain my faith while being in work because like you're driving to work, like yeah, you could be listening to music, but you can really just take 2 minutes outside of your day and just be like, "Okay, I'm going to spend some time with God while I'm driving to work because this is ultimately he's going to give you the necessary tools in your armor of God to be able to take on whatever your workday has ahead of you, especially if you're somebody who works in a really stressful work environment, then this is even more crucial. Like, Lord, just give me the strength to get through whatever challenges you have for me today. I think that's something that's really helped me maintain my faith is just speaking to God whenever I'm on my way to work. Oh, another way that has helped me grow my faith while working the demands of 8 to 5 life is just being plugged in with people who are in similar seasons of life. So, whenever I joined my sermon recap group, it was girls who are also in the work life, like they just graduated college. I think the age range for my group is like 18 to 23 maybe, I don't know, but pretty much all of us are working our very first job 1 or 2 years out of college, or not even a year like myself, and just being able to be with them and understanding their struggles and relating to them with their struggles of working 8 to 5 or just working full time in general has been really helpful and has really helped me grow my faith because they're they're going through the same thing as me. So community is key and community is everything. And this just reminds me of the Bible verse, um, iron sharpens iron. Like definitely surround yourself, find your people that you can talk to and be like, hey, I'm just really struggling with work and balancing my faith. Like, what are you doing to be better with your faith as you're working? Because we all know that we get tired at the end of the day. How has your faith shaped your approach to working life? A lot of times I feel like whenever I worked my serving job, I would always complain about it. And I just really would just be like, "Oh my goodness, I have to go to work." And I've said this before on this podcast is there's a huge key difference between I have to go to work and I get to go to work. And I think that comes down to faith. Like I get to go to work at a company in my dream city and God purposely and divinely placed this job in my life. And I just think that whenever you change your mindset about work to being like, this was provided to me from God, makes you have such a different outlook on your work life. Another way that my faith has shaped the way that I look at my work life is that God has continuously been so good in our lives. Like, I know you can definitely attest to that too. When you think back on your life, you can think about all the ways that God has blessed you and all the ways God has changed your heart to be different and to be more hardworking or to be maybe more grace giving towards others or whatever it may be. Like think about all the ways that God has kind of changed you in order to be the person you are today so that way you could fulfill your job's role. And I just think that's amazing. And like as an individual, you were the one that went to the interview or you applied to the job, you went to the interview, you got in front of somebody, you got to talk to them, they offered you the job. Well, no, that wasn't all just you. That was truly the Lord's purpose. He was giving you the strength to say the right words during the interview. He was giving you the opportunities to be able to put things on your resume so that way you could be impressive to this company. Like, all these things really go back to God. And whenever you think about it, as that, like, he provided everything from the things that are on my resume to the words that come out of my mouth whenever I'm sitting in that interview to the job offer. Chances are, if you are about to graduate or you have graduated, you have probably moved, whether that was out of your hometown or out of your college town. You're probably moving. This can definitely be pretty daunting. Definitely daunting. One thing that has helped me before I moved, and I would so recommend this to anybody, is get in those Facebook groups. It sounds so old fashioned, but I'm telling you what, reach out to girls or guys if you're a guy. Reach out to people before you even get here and start talking to people before you get to wherever you're going to go. I joined a buy sell thing on Facebook, which was only girls in Tampa, where they sell clothes. You can buy apartment decor, like all the things. I also joined my neighborhood Facebook group. There's just so many Facebook groups out there for literally everything. Like, if you have a hobby, let's say you're really into knitting, there's probably a knitting club in your city that you're moving to. So join it. Get people's phone numbers before you even get to the city that you're moving to. Make plans, just be really proactive. I highly recommend that if you are moving, no matter how far or how close you're moving, maybe this should be a series to talk about, because I think that I'm kind of learning as I go, but some things are fails and some things are not. I can talk about the fails too and some realizations that I've had as I've been in this new phase. But let me know if you guys want it to be a series or if this was kind of good. I just really wanted to speak to somebody who is in the transition. Maybe you're about to go in the transition, whatever it is. I just really hope that I was able to help you out. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next podcast episode. Bye.